I didn't really build a relationship with my siblings or cousins or anything because I was always in and out of the hospital. At that point in time, I wanted nothing to do with God because I was so sick. I was always sick. And it seems that it was my fault that that person did what they did. So a Sunday morning, Apostle we were worshiping, and Apostle was standing by the piano where he usually stands. And I just felt him hug me. He didn't move from where he was standing, but I just felt a hug. I felt love and I felt peace. So my name's Vern Haynes. I've been attending the center for a little over 20 years. And this is my testimony. From the age of 3, I was really sick. I used to get a lot of fevers and vomiting, and nobody knew what was wrong. So I'd spent weeks in the hospital. When I was about 7 or 8, there was a visiting doctor, and he was able to diagnose that I was born with something in the wrong place, so my bladder wasn't functioning as it should. So he was able to do the corrective surgery while he was here. And for a while, things were normal, but I did remain with the fevers because he said I would continue to have recurrent bladder infections. Now, throughout this time, I was not really exposed to much children because I was so sick. I didn't really build a relationship with my siblings or cousins or anything because I was always in and out of the hospital. So this led to a lot of me being by myself and thoughts that I wasn't good enough, or this is just how it is and I just got dealt a bad hand. And it continued for a few years still, the bad fevers. The bad fevers developed into bad headaches. And we had a domestic situation at home as well. So things were really rough at home. So after a really bad argument in the house, and probably, I don't know, I can't even remember, but it was probably something with my siblings. I took a handful of pills. I was about 10, probably 10 or 11, and I swallowed it because I just could not take it anymore. Thankfully, I woke up the next morning and I was fine. I didn't tell anybody what I did. So, continuing on to secondary school, the headaches continued. The headaches, the fevers, and it added to that. After a while, I started to get really bad back pain. Now, throughout all of this, the thoughts kept coming that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough. I didn't have what it takes to make it socially because I didn't have any friends. It was really limited because I was always sick. I was able to function because I was very good academically, so nobody knew anything was wrong, and I wasn't the type to open up to say that these are my feelings and this is what was going on. The domestic situation at home got really bad until I was about 16. I was writing exams, and a close relative of mine committed suicide. So, because of the situation at home, the church we attended, they actually blamed us and my mother actually to say that if we were a little bit more attentive, things would have been different. At that point in time, I wanted nothing to do with God because I was so sick. I was always sick. And it seems that it was my fault that that person did what they did. A friend of mine from school brought me to the center when I was about 17. And I was like, I don't really want to go anywhere, because I offer this Jesus thing because it's not making sense. And Apostle preached the Sunday morning. There was a difference in how he spoke, in what he said, his approach. And I gave my life to Christ. This is after probably 2 or 3 years of me saying I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to go anywhere. However, the thoughts continued. I would get, they would just drag me down to a place where I just wouldn't be able to function. I would be able to get up, do the tasks assigned, but that would be about it. And the headaches got worse. I would reach to the point where I would actually have to vomit to feel better. Life went on. We got married and had kids. And then life got so busy that I just could not make it. I stopped coming to church. Right? And then had a serious issue in my marriage. And I was back to square one. And the thoughts to just give up and then it all again came back, and it was even stronger this time. I did get it under control, but it was there. I started to come back to church because it was the only place I felt peace. So a Sunday morning, we were worshiping, and Apostle was standing by the piano where he usually stands. And I just felt him hug me. He didn't move from where he was standing, but I just felt a hug. I felt love, and I felt peace. And that was the end of the thoughts, the end of the I don't know what to do with myself, and the depression, and the hurt. I felt rest for the first time in years. And from then on, those thoughts have never come back. I don't feel like I'm less than or not deserving of anything better. And I'm in a lot better place today because of that experience. I just want to give the Lord praise and thanks for what He has done for me. And He has done so much. I want to thank Him for His love, His grace, and His mercy on my life. And He can do it for you too, because He came for everyone. He keeps saying that He is with us. Lo, I am with you always. And I think that was one of the most profound pieces, just little pieces of scripture. So it doesn't matter what thoughts or what setbacks, He says, I am with you always.